It's a very, very tragic situation. Meeting the mother and siblings of the deceased. This has come after a week of tragedies at Vreden Hope and so on. This was just a family going for a Sunday afternoon meal and not expecting the outcome that they experienced yesterday. Today we have seen that the police have issued images of a suspected terrorist, and it leaves us troubled, regardless of whether that individual was involved or not. But one must think about how do we, even as we extend a humanitarian hand, we understand the crisis that's in Venezuela. But at this moment, where there are geopolitical implications, American military involvement in neighboring Trinidad and threats against both Guyana and Trinidad, one is left. I'm certain that the level of screening that we ought to have of these Venezuelan migrants is less than desired. And this is coming after explosions at GPL substation and the Rheinfeld police station. And it seems as though we are in a reactive mode and a proactive mode. I believe that nothing is foolproof, but I believe that if proper screening was done and documentation was done, we're not here to promote xenophobia, but we are here to also, we must be balanced against protecting our local citizens. And so if the two previous bombings have done nothing to push the government towards screening of all migrants in this country, I think this incident, this tragic loss, today we're dealing with a family that is suffering, a mother that's in pain, a brother that's in pain, sisters that are in pain, grandmothers in pain. And it is sad that the loss of this life might be the trigger for us to screen properly, but it is our hope that the government springs into action and addresses the situation. On behalf of the APNU parliamentary team and the APNU at large, we want to extend our condolences to this family that is suffering terribly here today. I'll now pass you to Attorney Ronald Daniels, who had even closer contact with the family than I have had. Ronald.
Let me just pin this on here. Thank you.
Good morning, guys. So, even as I speak to you, my heart is really heavy. Words cannot express my personal anguish at this most unfortunate incident and this tragic loss. So I could only imagine what the mother is going through, what the sisters are going through, what the young brother and the rest of the community here is going through. I personally normally use that gas station there. And these are folks who were just innocently going out for their usual Sunday afternoon retreat, only to have the misfortune of this experience. And when you get an opportunity to talk to the mother and the siblings, and they narrate for you how graphic this incident was and the extent of the damage, not only to the young girl who is now deceased, but to the other persons, it is going to affect you emotionally and otherwise. We are in a state where, there is widespread insecurity in our country in terms of the Venezuelan population. As Mr. Campbell has indicated, we have no difficulties extending that humanitarian accommodation, but proper documenting has to be done. We have to regularize that immigration situation, especially from a national security perspective. And one of the things I'm minded to observe as well, we have that quite unfortunate situation where virtually every day you're seeing in the newspapers, you're seeing on social media, some young child is missing. and we haven't gotten any concerted response from the government to that situation. We hope that this situation here, which is potentially equally grave or perhaps even graver, does not go without a concrete response, does not go without a comprehensive plan to remedy this.
We have not seen a lot come out of the investigations from the two prior explosions. Do you think, what is the party's expectation? This with the type of investigation that should be done to ensure that one, the suspect and whoever is may be collaborating with are caught?
Sorry. Good. So the thing is, we're reminded that the government has CCTV facilities all across this country, especially in the city. And we have been reliably informed that those cameras have facial recognition capacity. The legality of that is a totally different story. So if the government is serious about arresting these situations, they do have the facilities to do so. And we hope that this incident, especially an incident of this magnitude, which is certainly going to leave a lot of people uncomfortable. I personally am uncomfortable. I hope that this does not suffer the fate of those other incidents. So the government has an opportunity to really demonstrate whether it is serious about securing first and foremost the Guyanese citizens who they have a fundamental responsibility to.
And so there's a call for like a more complete database of migrants. Is that what your call is?
Absolutely, absolutely. And any migrant, again, we're not promoting xenophobia, but we have to protect our citizens. So I think that, in the United States now, you're required to walk with your ID, or, if you're stopped, you have to produce an ID. And with the again, going back to the geopolitical situation that's taking place here and in neighboring Trinidad and the threats against both countries, I think that those migrants who are here ought to be documented and asked. It is not a difficult ask that as they traverse the roads and they engage with the public, that they carry their ID.
You've spoken to the family here this morning. What are their immediate needs? Is anything like counseling and so raised with you?
No, they're still in a absolute state of shock and trauma right now. The call more is for justice. Justice that, they live in Guyana and they can't enjoy a Sunday afternoon meal easily now. A daughter is lost. And, at the moment, seemingly lost at the hands of a terrorist, seemingly. And that is not something that we are accustomed to in Guyana at all. And it's really a breakdown in security. And so I don't want to make this political, but the government has a lot of work to do to correct the situation as it is right now.